Hello and welcome back to QuipScope, the show where we take a look at a new game, what has just come out, or sometimes a demo, or a beta, or a alpha. I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
Today we're talking about a demo, Peter.
We are.
This is
You didn't actually list that in one of the possible things. You said a game that's come out, or an alpha, or a beta.
I said a demo, or alpha, or a beta.
I didn't hear the demo in there.
See, here we go. We're already crossing wires.
Yeah.
But you know who doesn't cross wires?
Sir Daniel Fortesque.
You know why?
Because they hadn't invented electricity yet.
That, and also because he's dead.
True, it's hard to cross wires when you're dead.
Exactly. I'm peering at you through just a mess of microphone
see
equipment.
one eye, I think.
Well, Sir Daniel only has one eye.
Wow, perfect.
So there's this MediEvil remake coming out. There's a demo. What's it called?
Short-lived demo.
Short-lived demo.
Because I think it's only around for like a week or something, or maybe less than
is
that.
it?
I think it's only downloadable for a short time.
Well, that and the demo is in and of itself very short.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. What do you do?
Well, you're effectively. I mean, some people, in the same way that when you bring up maybe Tomby 1, a lot of people never played that game, but they did have a demo of it. You know, the sort of demo 1 discs and those that came with magazines and stuff. Mm-hmm. There was this sort of period of time where a lot of the same demos were appearing on discs. And I think a lot of people will have played a MediEvil demo that was essentially just this level. That's kind of what it was. I mean, that's my main experience with MediEvil, was playing that demo a lot as a child. And then eventually I did like one run of it later on. So I don't know it that well in terms of, you know, going back to a remaster and being like, wow, this is the same as it was before. But essentially you are playing the first level of the game. So a bit of backstory. Sir Daniel Fortesque is a legendary hero who is known for leading the charge against the evil Zarok sorcerer.
Right.
And he bested him on the battlefield and then killed him at long last. Except that's not actually what happened.
Oh,
spoilers.
what happened?
That's a false legend that has somehow started to go around the world. But really, Sir Daniel did lead the charge, but he was the first person killed on the battlefield.
Oh no, Sir Daniel.
He got an arrow right in the eye. He used to be an adventurer like you.
Oh no.
And he ended up dying before he even managed to clash with the enemy force.
Right.
But he's now been brought back from the dead because Zarok has done evil necromancy and essentially unintentionally brought back one of his old enemies. Right. Really, he just wanted to bring back zombies just to cause chaos. But he's come back from the dead. And now he's trying to actually live up to the legend that he is and not just die at the first hurdle. So that's the story.
I see.
And you wake up in your little mausoleum and head out into the graveyard, and that's the first level, much like the demo of old.
Right. So how does it play? Like what are you doing in it?
Well, it's third-person action RPG, you might call it.
Right.
With slightly more depth to it than you might imagine from something in a cartoony style from that era. There were plenty of decent third-person action RPGs, like say Soul Reaver, that had a fair bit going for them. But you look at MediEvil, and because it's quite cartoony gothic, you expect that it's just a guy who's probably got a sword, and he just swipes at enemies constantly until the end of the game. But there's various weapons you can pick up and armor. In fact, in this demo, get it while you can, there's a helmet that you can pick up next to where Daniel wakes up, which is exclusive to this demo, I believe. And if you wear it, it makes your enemies more difficult to defeat.
Oh.
So it's a special sort of extra item that you can use to make the game harder if you want to.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's this third-person thing where you run around and swipe your sword at your enemies. You've got throwing knives, you've got secondary attacks, you've got a shield and the ability to block. So it's, like I say, there's a bit more to it than some of the more kiddie platformers of the era, which have been reignited / brought back in glorious 4K recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. And I know you said you didn't you only really experienced the demo in the past.
Yeah.
But how does it hold up by today's standards? Is it, because I've played the Spyro Reignited trilogy, and those games I feel like have really held up.
Yeah.
They're still really good fun. Is this fun? Because I've never really liked MediEvil.
No, I know you haven't.
And I don't really get the excitement around this. So is it good? Is it a good game?
Well, to clarify, I did run MediEvil once, but as in all the way through. I have completed it.
Oh, okay.
But it was once as a kid, and I don't really remember it, is my point. So I remember the demo or that first level very vividly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is an accurate representation of the original game. So if you really enjoyed MediEvil, the original version, and you just want to play it again, then in that respect, you're probably going to enjoy this, because I think they've pretty much replicated what made it good for those who enjoyed it when they were younger. I never had a problem with MediEvil, but it never really grabbed me as much as certain games of the era.
Right.
And again, I think in that respect, this version, this remaster or remake, I should say, is fine, I think, and serviceable. It's not grabbing me by the one empty eye socket with cobweb in.
Yes.
But I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna play it through at least once, and I'm sure I will enjoy it enough. I think it, as all these recent remakes do, it looks quite nice. I like seeing those cartoony styles brought up to date with with the resources available now. They're able to just litter in so many details, and even just things like what used to be a flat wall with a brick texture on it now has individual bricks and mortar and stuff, and just things like that. It's nice to see in a cartoony style. It all looks like it's sort of made of icing or plasticine or something. That's quite nice. I like that.
Does it all run okay?
Well, no, so this is the thing.
Okay.
So in terms of gameplay and how they've replicated that, I think, as I say, if you enjoyed the old one, you'll enjoy this. But I had some performance issues with the demo, and I noticed some performance issues as well with a previous trailer. Not the one they brought out at State of Play in September recently, but one of the previous ones. Their demo looked a bit choppy, actually. I was like, oh, that's not very good. But maybe it's, that was a bit earlier on in the development process. Maybe, they were still optimizing it. Yeah. But I found that in this, the camera had some issues, sort of swinging around and finding where I was, particularly in enclosed spaces. So when you're in Dan's crypt to begin with, I thought the camera was a bit unhappy in there, it seemed. But also I found that at one point, there's these sort of fountains that you can stand in that heal they bring your health bar up to full. Okay. But you have to stand in there and slowly let the bar fill up. You can't just quickly jump in and hop out and you're suddenly full health. So I was standing in this fountain, and as my bar was slowly filling up, and there were these sort of particle effects going around, there were a couple of enemies down underneath me, and the frame rate really took a bit of a hit, and it went down to, well, I don't know. I don't have a frame rate counter running all the time. But slow. Yeah, noticeably, a bit choppums, less than 20, I would say. Oh dear. And that's a shame for what is effectively, I know that obviously the way these things are remade, they are quite resource heavy nowadays, but it's difficult not to think this is a PS1 game. Do you know what I mean? It's not actually a PS1 game, but it's hard to separate that in your mind. And so all you get when you see that performance, issue is, oh, we're in a microwave. Yes. All you think is, oh man, this PS1 game is not running properly on my PS4, and that really kind of, hampers the experience to a degree, I would say. And also, it's exclusive, isn't it? So it's been made from the ground up for PS4, is that right? I think so, yeah. So that's also kind of shocking that they haven't been able to. Yeah, it's not just something that's been ported badly. It's like, no, you've built this for this console. Why is it not working? Well, that's a shame. So hopefully that might be something that is brought up in response to this demo. People will play it and they might see online that some people are having performance issues. I don't know how well it runs on a PS4 Pro. You played it here in the office, didn't you? Yeah. And this is a regular PS4. So I don't know. Maybe you could have a quick go at home if you wanted to, just to see how it runs on your Pro Spider-Man PlayStation. That's true. But yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame, and hopefully, as I say, they'll they might get a bit of feedback from players and try and get a bit more optimization in there for a day one patch.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't impressed.
No.
I don't think it's very good.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that the original MediEvil was very good. It's always struck me as a game that people had. It didn't review incredibly well at the time either.
Right.
I think it was just a game that people had growing up, and so they've got fond memories of it. But I really don't get it. I
Yeah.
don't get the MediEvil love at all, to be honest. And I encountered the same technical issues, and I just thought the camera was just getting caught on everything all the time.
Yeah.
Combat obviously isn't great. It's meant to be simple, but the sort of rudimentary lock-on that it sort of does automatically, I hate that. I think that's crap.
Right.
Not for me.
Yeah.
But as you said, if people like the original, it's that. So hopefully people will enjoy it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad, but it didn't blow my socks off at all.
Got a very budget price point though.
Yeah, and certainly it's of course going to have that effect on people who love the original version to see the thing that you once saw in glorious low res now in glorious high res. That's always nice. And there are various interesting details in this, in that, you know, the gargoyles, for example, who speak to you at the very beginning of the game and throughout the game, in fact, have been voiced. They're not even voiced by the same person. They're actually the same sound files have been used.
Oh, okay.
They sound pretty good. They don't sound
No,
sort
they
of
sound-
choppy or bitty is what I meant to say.
Sounds great.
Yeah, sounds good. So that's something that's been used from the old game, and it's just a question of. I think again, as with a lot of remasters, it just comes down to how much you love MediEvil in the first place. You didn't really like it at all, and you didn't like this at all. I saw the girls from PlayStation Access kind of gushing over this, and I think they were both fans of the original, so they loved it and they love it now, and I was always in the middle about it, and I'm in the middle about it now. So I really think that's what it comes down to, for the most part.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, let us know in the comments below what you make of the demo, or if you're looking forward to it, or if you hate it, or however you feel, let us know. We want to hear all about it. Make no bones about it.
Haha!
This game is a game.
Yeah.
There we go. That was one.
That was, I don't know if I can do better than that.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because he's got an eye.
He has got that eye.
Yeah.
Just one.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Anything else? Have you got one? Can you throw me one? Yeah, go on. You can do it.
I'm
Think about spooky. Think about anything.
I'm trying to get Skull in somewhere. I'm just giving you my thought process
Okay.
here.
Well, do you want some help?
Uh,
I can't believe he was skulking around those.
there you
those
go. You've done it. You
catacombs
just
or-
start doing me today. I can't.
No. You've got one. You can do one. I believe in you. Come on. You got one. Magic? You got any magic ones?
No.
No magic?
Help, no. This game. If you didn't like it in the first place, I think playing it again will be yet another grave encounter for you.
Great. No, that was really good.
Thanks. Please, can we press stop? I don't like it.
Bye, everyone.
Press
Bye.
the stop button.
Bye.